So you are Sywell Scouts?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to introduce them all. They should all be coming through, but as working with teenagers, they're not particularly fast to do anything, you will find. That's one, that's two. One thing you learn to do as a scout leader is count constantly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I haven't lost any, that's quite useful today. Okay, so my name's Ellie. I'm mother to Callum, a future pilot, and that's basically how I got into becoming an Air Scout leader. Callum's had a passion for aviation from a very young age, and he went through the scouting movement as a beaver and a cub in what we as Air Scouts call land units, and then we were lucky enough to have in Wellingborough, Sywell Aerodrome, and Clint Marler, who is stood over there, decided to found an Air Scout troop. So he started with literally 3 members, one of which was his daughter, one of which was my son, and Luke, a fantastic individual who's actually outgrown us now because he's out in the big wide world at the age of 20. So it's a bit like the Oscars and the BAFTAs today. A lot of my speech is going to be thank yous, and it's mainly to everyone here because there's a lot of people in here that have supported us all along the way. The greatest gift that you can give to these young people is your time, because time is the only thing you can give that you will never get back. And your experience, wisdom and knowledge are what's creating the future. I've sort of looked at Anne and Stephen's sort of poster, dream it, fly it. Well, they certainly do that, and today we've been living it as well. Myself and Clint arrived in the shop, just had a quick mooch round as we do because we like our retail opportunities. And there was a guy in a brown jumper and he said, are you going to the aviation conference? Stuart sort of caught me a couple of weeks ago and said, will you come to this conference? And I didn't really know what I was letting myself in for. So we said, follow us, we'll take you. It only turned out to be Rick, who was a Concorde co-pilot. So literally, we entered the room. Stuart introduced us to Virginia that we've met before. I said, can we book on the Concorde experience because we found ourselves a Concorde pilot. So literally, we've been ducking in and out during the day because we've been able to book onto the Concorde experience, take these guys into Concorde, have a real life Concorde pilot tell them all his life experiences from going on a private yacht. He landed in Concorde. There was some sort of very rich gentleman that had taken flight and said, you know what, you're doing anything for the next couple of days? Hop on this Learjet over here and come on the private yacht. Now that is my aspirations for these guys, okay? And it's your experiences which are going to give them that future. So I'm just going to introduce you to them all and tell you what their aspirations are in life, because we're different to a school. Often if you go to a school, they're trapped, they're caged in, they have to go to school. They don't necessarily want to be learning, they may not necessarily have any interest in aviation. So you've got an audience there, but perhaps only 30% of them are interested in what you're saying. If you go to a voluntary organisation like ATC or Air Scouts or Scouts, they want to be there, it's self-selecting. They've chosen to go along in their spare time. This is their hobby, this is their passion. And these guys here all share the exact passion that you guys have. What you do for me is inspire them, and everybody in this room, I've been catching various people say, come and talk to the Air Scouts. You might have to get in the car and drive 50 miles, but believe me, as you drive back, you'll actually fly back in your car because you will live on the actual enthusiasm that they have. So as I go down the line, I'm going to introduce you to them all. And I haven't actually prepared anything to say today. So Callum, Matteo and Luca, literally no more than 7 minutes ago, said they'd bail me out, and they're going to tell you a bit about what they like in aviation as well. So this is Callum, now 16. He's my son that from the age of 18 months just used to point in the air and say play. And you'll see sort of how he's developed in a minute. This is Matteo. He joined Air Scouts at the age of 10, and he didn't really know what he wanted to do. He's going to tell you more about that in a minute, but he now wishes to be a commercial pilot, as does Callum. We've got Tom here. He has an interest in aircraft modelling. His granddad comes from that background, but he's very keen to become a commercial pilot as well. Louis here is our chief engineer. He's actually more interested in automotive engineering, but Air Scouts can give him a lot of background into that, because obviously aviation engines are the high-spec stuff that you'll find in sort of motor racing engines. And Louis is going to tell you a bit about a personal achievement of a few of the team here getting into the RAF 100 engineering competition. Freddie's one of our younger members. He's really into his engineering, really technically orientated. Ben is the only one here that wants to be a helicopter pilot. Those rotor things are quite complicated and there's a lot of feet and a lot of hands. Well, if you've met Ben, he's sort of here, there and everywhere, so he is a spot-on helicopter pilot. Okay, Jack's our most recent recruit as care of Andre. Jack's sister actually came along to Andre's Young Aviator Day in September, and his parents sort of approached Andre and then approached me and said, oh, our son's thinking about pilot, never been in an aircraft, doesn't really know, just thinks it might be something to do. We had him in an aircraft with Andre, and then Ian, our leader over there, has also got a PPL, so he just threw him in the back and took him back to Old Warden with him. So he had his first long flight as well. Then we've got Will here. Will likes to keep his feet firmly on the ground. He's not a fan of going up in the air. He has done it, but he is our sort of another engineering specialist. I've known Will since he was quite little, and Lego is a fantastic thing, and Ricardo, and the things Will builds now from that background of children's toys, that's how you see you go up. You've been saying today about catching them small in primary school. Well, actually, the things they can build when they get to 14 to 18-year-olds, these aren't school children, these are young adults, and they can build what we can build. They can do more with a power tool than I ever can. So, Callum, if I can hand over to you. Callum talks a lot like me, so...
Hello everyone, my name is Callum and I want to be a commercial pilot. I originally got into aviation because my godfather took me and a friend and my parents to RAF Cottesmore, where he was the Army Liaison Officer there, and at the time the Harriers were based there. So I spent the day looking around Harriers and loved the whole thing. And years later, I came along through Scouts. I've been in Beavers and I've been in Cubs, which are absolutely excellent. And I came along to Andre's Young Aviators Day, which is where I got the first experience of flying. And I flew in a Sky Ranger, which is basically a Meccano kit with some wings. It was absolutely excellent, loved every second. We flew over my school and we landed, and it was amazing, and I wanted to be a pilot ever since. Quite recently, I actually found that same pilot and met up with him again and flown with him again, and it's possibly the best flying I've done recently, and it was a lot of fun. I joined Air Scouts as Clint's first scout, and we were in the group, just the three of us, for about 6 months, but we were doing aviation things and it was a lot of fun. And then suddenly, one week, we built a website and people had found it, and 3 or 4 people turned up on the first night afterwards, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and now we've got 80 in the whole whole group section now. I'm now a young leader, so I work with the Cub section of our group, and I'm an explorer with this lot, unfortunately.
They're his best mates, believe me. All these guys are so good.
But yeah, it's been an absolutely brilliant time. Now I'm going to hand over to Matteo.
Hi, my name is Matteo, and I really want to be a commercial pilot. What kind of got me into being a pilot was obviously Air Scouts, but I find my first experience was flying after 9 in a private aircraft. And I also knew more about it. Then I came across Air Scouts, which was obviously a site, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to do this. And then I had so many opportunities from this, and it's really built my passion for flying, because we've done hovercrafting, gliding, and flying a normal plane, and then had loads of talks about it, which has really boosted my passion for it as well.
had to design and make up an entirely new idea to present to a panel of judges and make a presentation. And it was a fantastic experience because we had a week, building a massive prototype, which was a big box with wings essentially. And the skills we learned with it were fantastic. It's something we've never done in schools. We learned to drill with it, make up a big box basically. But it was really fantastic. And of course we had to prepare and present a presentation in front of a panel of really top judges, senior RAF people as well. And so it was a great experience all round, and we learned, me and 4 other people, Helen included, we all learned so many skills, and also a lot of the younger scouts came in as well, so we got to mentor them as well and be young people like that.
Yeah, so everything we do is about inspiring these guys, but every day they inspire us because they make me young again. Believe me, after walking last night, we went on a night hike through the Oxenden Tunnel, and I'll tell you, by the time I got back from that, I was plastered in mud, my hip had given up, my knee had given up, and we didn't get back till 10:30 last night, and 7:30 this morning, we're back in the bus with these guys, but they keep us young, and we couldn't do it without your support. Also, very much our other leaders, Ian and Scott, who lead our Explorer section, we always need more adult volunteers to come into scouting, but even just come and give us an hour of your time teaching them how to read a sort of aviation map, talking about meteorology, that sort of thing. Your knowledge, you don't know how much you know because it's second nature to you now, but you can pass on so much. Just from meeting Rick this morning, who never met in their lives before, but he has passed on so much to these guys. It's been fantastic. And finally, while everyone's here, we'd like to say a huge thank you to YES, because YES have supported us as well. They have given each of these guys a personalised logbook for them to actually log their hours. So there will be a little bit of YES that flies around the world with these guys, and will be with them, as you know, from your own logbooks for the rest of your life. And with airability as well, I met Harvey a few months ago, and he's going to give us an opportunity to fly some of the scouts that are less confident. We're an all-inclusive organisation, and we have an autistic scout who would love to fly, but he can get as far as sitting in the aircraft, and that's all he can manage. And I can tell you, by the end of this year, he's going to be up there with the rest of us. So we would like to thank Stuart for all his support with this conference and doing the logbooks, and also a build-a-plane. We will be sending our build-a-plane when we've built it, but we're going to be building it over a weekend camp where we're going to do a lot of engineering skills. So that will appear at Brooklands in September, as long as this lot have done it right, because we're not helping them. It's on their own. So you can judge the workmanship by the time we get back. So thank you to each and every one of you for all the support that you give us. There's a lot of guys here that are going to be applying for grants in the future, and hopefully go through the degree programs that things like the Aviation Skills Partnership can offer us. So you're going to see these guys a lot in the future, and thank you for investing in their future, because you've made them what they are today. Thank you.